Crosby 6 Sense Wah. The 6 Sense is an innovative, compact sensory wah that eliminates the hassle of scratchy pots and moving parts. The pedal comes with a transparent buffer and is powered by a 9-volt adapter or battery. The Crosby 6 Sense Wah retails for $130.
Hi, my name is Chris Welton. I play with the Barstow Prophets. I've been playing, I think I started playing guitar back in college, so that was about almost 30 years ago, but I've been playing professionally for about the past 10 or 12 years. My favorite style of music, I guess it would be best described as probably a blues rock, and that's mostly what I play. As far as my gear goes, my number one is always this beautiful 1979 Gibson Les Paul Custom. It's the 2550 edition. 3 pickup. These are Series 7 pickups, factory pickups. This is an 81 Tim Shaw, also a Gibson pickup. It brightens it up a little. Otherwise, guitar is pretty much stock. That is a Schaller roller bridge. I like it a lot. My amp over here on the corner, 1969 Fender Super Reverb, completely stock, and then super simple pedal board.
Hey, I'm Billy Stevens, and I'm happy to be here with the Tsunami Cable family. I've been playing guitar for, 30 some years, and my favorite style of music is rock. Everything from classic to indie to emo. When you play a long time, you kind of get exposed to a lot of music. So I just like good upbeat pop, rock, punk influenced music. Okay, a little bit about my gear. This is just a standard Les Paul. I have a few of them. As long as I'm a standard guitar player, I play the standard model. And this is a 96 Seymour Duncan Custom coil tapped in the back. Tone knobs are both cut. Too much stuff confuses me. And for an amp, I have an old Bassman box that was gutted by my custom amp builder Doug Rocaforte. It's built as a 1953 Fender Tweed with a gain stage in it, all new old stock, into it's still 50 watts, and into a Marshall Vintage 412 with 25 watt greenback Celestians. And it's a cool rig, I dig it.
Hi, my name is Woody Garcia. I've been playing guitar for about 20 years or so. My favorite style of music is funk and soul. Gear I'll be using today, 2012 Fender American Select Telecaster with a twisted telly and in the neck and a Texas Special in the bridge. My amp I'll be using, Friedman Dirty Shirley Mini with a 10-inch Celestion in it.
Hi, my name is I've been playing for roughly 15 years. I mostly play a lot of hard metal, like thrash metal, and psychedelic blues rock stuff. Today I'm going to be playing this amazing USA Strat that I have. It's basically my favorite, all rosewood neck. It's a USA. And then I'm going into a Kemper that's going to be going into a 212 Legacy cabinet.
Hi, my name is David Walston. I've been playing for about 13 years. My favorite style of music would have to range between like jazz and that brutal death metal, but I mainly play thrash metal, I guess. Due to a lovely work injury, I will not be playing, but I will give my 2 cents.
All right, so we did the Sixth Sense wah from Crosby Pedals, and it's an interesting little pedal gadget, I guess you could say. It uses, you guys all know this, I'm just saying this for them, but it uses a light sensor here, so as your foot gets closer to it, it actually reflects the light, and that's what basically bends for the wah and activates the wah. The switch on the side actually controls the depth of how far your foot goes from the sweep. Frequency sweep of the actual where your foot goes with it. And the red indicator light on the side is just basically indicating that it's on, so you know that it's actually on. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go around and see what you guys thought of it. Who wants to go first? Billy can't go first. He always talks a lot.
So I used it first.
Yep, Chris used it first.
Interesting technology, and for me it would be completely useless.
Yeah.
So here is the problem.
So it starts.
Tell us how you really feel, Chris.
No, well, here was the problem. The problem was with the wah pedal. You know, I usually play it with my right foot, and I have a sense of feel on the pedal for the sweep.
Right.
And also, most gigs we're playing standing up.
Right.
So you have to be able to balance, right? But with this, when I was standing up and playing it, I had to have my foot completely off the ground to activate the pedal, which meant I was playing standing on one foot, and that just doesn't work. Or if you anchor your heel on your second foot, which is closest to the pedal, after like 3 minutes, your calf cramps up.
Yeah.
It's just ergonomically, it's a terrible
Happened to me.
design.
Yeah.
I mean, the sound was okay, the effect was okay, but I thought this is designed by somebody who doesn't play guitar.
Gotcha.
So
That's a good observation.
Okay, so after looking up a little bit of information about Crosby Pedals, I guess their whole thing is that they're trying to do the sensory thing with all the pedals, so you don't need having pops or clicks or whatever for switching.
Okay.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
It's a cool idea. It's
in
interesting,
theory.
you know?
Yeah, right.
I know for me, okay, so I'm a big fat boy with a giant foot. I wear a size 16 shoe, and tap dancing all night on pedals sucks anyway. Right. So if I could just kind of hover my foot over a pedal and have it turn on and off, that's kind of cool. I kind of dig that concept. Back to me being a fat boy with size 16 shoes, I just can't. I had the same problem, like sweep wise, I couldn't get, and I was sitting down, and I just couldn't get a real feel for it. My shin still hurts, right now, it still hurts from 3 shoots ago right now when we just did this, like 3 people or whatever. I thought it sounded good though. I didn't mind the tone of it. I dug the sweep of it. Like, there were things that I did like about it, so I don't just want to hate on it. It's just, in terms of functionality for me with a freaking gargantuan foot, I can't do it.
Right. Makes sense.
But I dig the concept.
Cool. Billy? Or Chris or whoever.
Billy, I thought you had like good results.
Unleash the fury, Billy.
Like both, I didn't really get to hear you using it, but I heard you guys using it, and like you, I thought got a good grasp for it, and you at the end, you started doing some crazy shit. I was like, yeah, like what the hell? You got little midget feet or something? Or sorry, I was trying to do something. Sorry. Excuse me for being brash.
I have to say,
Like 6'3", you got midget feet?
Monkey feet. Just like start singing songs and dancing.
From the lollipop killer.
Like Chris said, it's like I'm a one-footed monkey playing guitar here for you. Fucking wah wah wah, fucking fuck.
Thanks, Billy.
Sorry, I just hijacked your old shit. Sorry.
no, it's good. No, it's, dude,
I lost it. He's gone. He's done.
Okay, go ahead.
I just played on a pedal that was built by science.
Okay.
Dude,
how'd that work out for you?
Wow, I don't know if I'm ready for this yet. I think if they could develop the sensors a little more, they could just empathically make the wall work without balancing. I stood up and on one leg, but you know what? My biggest issue with the whole thing was I didn't feel it was consistent. I think there's an idea here.
Right.
I think, Gen 6 of this might have something going. I think when you make a little itty bitty pedal with the sensors right there, you got one little laser point to control it, and that is very not intuitive for a person, counterintuitive. Right. Maybe if it was a little wider and they put 2 sensors kind of further apart,
right.
That would fit normal human-sized feet, not little baby tap dancing monkey feet.
I'm not sure if that's how the sensors work, but yeah, maybe.
Just if they could run
they could
together.
Go wider. Yeah, it could be a wider.
Something that gave it more of an intuitive feel, because I was playing, I was standing up, and I got it to where it was working okay, but I felt like it was real inconsistent. It was either like, okay, that was a good sweep, that was a good feet sweep, and we all play here, you want to be able to bend that note and open it up and get that, everything going. And it would I'd get one, I'd go, yeah, and the next one would be like on off, about I'm like,
gotcha.
Well, wah is a very rhythmic, percussive type of guitar effect.
Yeah.
And you want to lock in that note with your foot.
The expression.
And like there's, it really, like a wah-wah pedal is not just an easy pedal to use.
Right.
That's a misconception.
Yeah.
You got to know the timing of it so you can make that note sing, and and like you said, like not having an idea of where it's at, and like not being able to just rest your foot on a part of the sweep, because sometimes if you just want the cock wah tone, like that means you've got to hold your foot there and balance it without any resistance. I can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky,
I need resistance.
if you're lucky at that spot, if you could barely perfectly lift your foot off and leave it, and you're like, okay, it's right at that. Sometimes with wah pedals, you can find the sweet spot and then just
and then just leave it on and just do your thing.
And
that
that might be something that they could do if they put the sensors from the back. Maybe at the front, you could rest your heel on the back, and then you didn't have to feel like you were balancing.
Right.
doing this, but you could just like step on it and feel more like, okay, now I got something going. But the whole like having to use your, because you want to use your toe on the sensors, and it's very counterintuitive to feel it.
Well, and like you're saying, I mean, it's very tactile for a wall. Like a normal wall is very tactile. You feel it.
Yeah, you feel it.
And they've took the whole idea of this is taking that whole idea right out the window and not having
You lose the
part.
feel, because
Exactly.
what you're trying to do is, Woody said it perfectly, it's the timing of the effect and the timing of the note that have to correspond.
Yeah.
And if you have no sense of feeling on the effect, you have no sense of timing.
Right, absolutely.
You know, where is it? And
Yeah.
I was putting my foot all the way down, and I'm like, well, I'm stepping on it, so it's not fucking working now. So, I mean...
Right.
Thank you, science.
All right, Chris. How'd you feel? He had the most success.
Honestly, that being said, I could kind of be here, I sort of agree what everyone else has said about the pedal, and I could sit here and sort of say the same kind of few things, but I think I would better just kind of sum it up in saying something along like a Clarkson quote, which is sort of be like, a car maker wouldn't really set out thinking like, how would we make a car more fun? Well, let's make a VR helmet that in whatever direction you look, it'll steer the car that way. It'd be a horrible idea. You took the entire fun out of the experience of driving. This is what that is.
That's a sort of interesting way of looking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I have no idea.
If they made a car that they said you have to wear a headset and wherever you look it'll turn.
I know what those are.
But that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't work. That's the whole. It's kind of a cute idea.
It took the wah-wahing and it took the fun out of it.
It did take the fun out.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, but I just feel it's unnecessary. Why?
And I'm so excited.
It would be different if it was like a hot hand thing. Sorry to name drop a more usable thing, but it would be nice to do like something that you could use. Like, why don't you have a thing that you could do that with and move your hands with, or something that would be a bit more usable with a wall with your foot? Just doesn't seem like a good idea. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really on that boat right now. But it was cool. I had fun with it. It was, it's cool to fart around with. If you were looking for like extremely experimental tones, like if I'm going for like the next dark side of the moon, like we need something fucking out that no one uses, then I'd be like, I'm gonna try this weird ass thing, But
or like with a keyboard, that would be kind of cool. Run a synth through it.
if you're going
Then you
experimental,
could,
then there you go.
Yeah.
But
That would be kind of cool if you can get all theremin with it.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
So you got your synth
You're
and
doing
you-
some lead notes and your left hand's like doing some weird
shit.
freaking
Yeah.
funky stuff. I could see that being
it's
Oh,
more,
use
it's
for
more
it.
an
It
added
would be
work for me
easier
than
with your
added
hand.
creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. My biggest, the issue that I had the most with it from the get-go when I pulled it out of the box is
input jet.
build quality. Build
quality.
Build quality. Well, so first of all, and I think you had the most.
You're known for like building stuff.
Right. And that's, and I mean, like, perfect example. I don't mean to rag on these guys' pedals and they sent it to us, but like the bass doesn't even fit on correctly to the top part. Like there's a huge, you can't see it from where you guys are at, but all you guys can see, there's a huge gap like through the bottom and it doesn't line up to the top. Like here it's super tight.
There's just room for
and then
dust
everything
in
else
there
is like super loose.
moisture.
But I don't think, it doesn't feel necessarily like it would close. So I
It's
don't
almost
know
like
if
the
it's-
powder coating was
Yeah,
funky.
it's like it didn't line up correctly. And so I'm not a huge fan of that. The paint on it, this like yellow, it's weird. It doesn't, I don't know how to say it right. I'm not sure if it's powder coated or not, but it feels really odd. And there's like certain like spots on it that are almost like a flat, and there's certain spots on it that are gloss. So it's kind of weird. I'm
kind of with you on that though, in the sense of like, I didn't really want to rag on it. I'm not really here to rag,
Right,
whatever.
I'm trying not
But
to be that either.
we're gonna be definitely honest about it,
Right.
and that's just kind of why I use sort of the Jeremy Clarkson reference on the car thing with that, because it really is sort of just like, what are you doing?
And
Well,
even
my biggest complaints are the jacks.
yeah,
The
well, and
jack-
that was
and both the quarter-inch jacks, but also
Right.
the power jack too.
Yeah.
Because you got a very small pedal there,
Yep.
and if it doesn't connect securely,
yeah,
it's
gonna move all over the place.
you're gonna have problems on your
Yeah.
board, and it's
Yeah.
not gonna be worth the trouble.
I
Absolutely.
had to kick it.
Yeah, well, that's
3 or 4 times
and speaking
during
of that,
the
so the
demo.
input jack, and I think, and we've all kind of discussed, we feel that the input jack is broken on the inside, where normally when you would plug a 1/4-inch cable, maybe a Tsunami cable, it would click, and you would hear that, and you would feel the click as it goes in. This input jack doesn't have that, and so I don't know if it just got broken.
might
It's
be
not
a specific
broken.
one.
Right, it's not broken enough where there's no input. Like the connection is still there, but the
That
actual
little clip
yeah, that
inside
clip
that's supposed
inside
to hold it in
exactly
place,
Yeah.
that you
give
can
it
feel it.
resistance.
It doesn't click, and then you had the most problem with it, where it would literally come out,
Yeah.
and as you're playing, it would just cut it would just ground out and cut your signal out.
Giant Sasquatch foot that was just like bumping
Exactly,
into it
yeah,
and kicking
absolutely.
my cable and stuff.
I think
Yeah.
a cool idea, actually, I just thought of something. A cool idea would be is if that was more of a modulated effect, more than a wah, and the I wouldn't say the up and down of your foot, but the more just all around 3-dimensional move of your foot would be cool to affect it. If you could,
I think that's what they're going for with some of their other pedals, maybe.
Right.
Imagine if you had like a pad, like a square pad, and if you put your foot on it, it'll make like a flange or something, and if you kind of twist your foot or move it, it'll really mess with it in some experimental.
The effect,
You
yeah.
could sit there and kind of like whatever,
Yeah.
wiggle your foot. And
You have
just
like an
totally-
X, Y,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like 3D type,
That would be
Yeah.
extremely interesting.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah,
very,
exactly.
like, wow, yeah, that would be extremely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, again, I hate to be, or all of us I know hate to be like just bagging on the pedal.
Yeah, we don't want to be
And
like elitists, like
Right, and
I
that's
thought
not
it sounded good.
Right.
I
Yeah.
like appreciated the tone.
Right,
And
absolutely. I think so too.
And I'm like kind of picky about wah tones.
Right.
Even though it's one of those tones that's just like you hear it all the time. Like I'm real picky about it.
Right.
And I dug it.
Yeah.
I dug it. I just didn't like the functionality.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they
Yeah,
have
fun
they have
concept.
they have some work to do. But and I think what you said too, like Gen 6 might
Yeah.
might be killer. You know what I mean?
What else do they? What else do they currently make?
I don't I honestly
So,
I'd be open-minded to
so
mess
we
with other
look
stuff.
like it looks like they're just kind of like getting started right now. I guess the concept is that all their pedals are going to be switchless.
so
And they
I'll
mentioned
have
something about not needing to, like being able to use one power supply, I guess,
Yeah.
maybe two, to power all of them. I don't know how that whole thing works, but
and they
definitely
look-
need more info. Like it's
Yeah.
just,
And they look like they're all small.
yeah, they look all
Small
that
pedals.
size, you know.
And they did send me like a 2-page instructions on how to use it, like how to use that stuff and like what everything does. And it was, I mean, the informative part of it was just that, you know, how to, you know, where to put your foot, what this
Yeah.
does, everything, that kind of thing. The other thing that also is in there too, and it didn't affect us in here since we're inside with lights and all that kind of stuff, but if you are in direct sunlight, it will not work. So if the lighting is too bright, it affects the light sensor, so that won't work. And then as well as the opposite of that, if your pedal board is either covered or you have a very dark situation where it's, you know, not a lot of light at all, it's the same thing. So
that kind of like
yeah, that
covers
could really,
everything.
Right,
It's like
that
light
could-
and dark.
Yeah,
Like,
and if you're in
outside
exactly.
or you're in a like a dark club.
You need
That's what I was
stage
thinking is
lights
we've-
for it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking that too, going, well, you know, how many times have we all played outside, you know, at noon and
Yeah.
it's hot as blazes and you're under and there's no shade. It
Yeah,
happens.
just sweating it.
Right, exactly. Or in a super dark corner of a, you know, dingy little club. It's the same thing. So, you know, and I think to have something like that, that instantly you walk into a situation, you're going, I can't use my pedal. That kind of to me sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just kind of sucks in general. But I do think the concept is cool. I think they're going for something very unique and very different. And we didn't mention it's $75 roughly, right around there, right around
It
70,
definitely
80
has
bucks.
potential.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does. But and it's not. I mean, that's not breaking the bank either. You know, 75, you know, 80 bucks, whatever it
Yeah.
is. But yeah, I mean, usability is a huge thing. So
I mean, as a wah, if you can have a wah pedal that takes up that much real estate and is
Right.
light, it's a great idea.
totally, yeah, I
Yeah.
could definitely see that. Absolutely, and we always talk about like space on a pedal board and that kind of thing as being a big deal.
Yeah.
I get that, and I totally think that's. And I think you're absolutely right. I think that is a really good play on this part.
I almost like I guess it defeats the whole purpose, but if this was on your pedal board and you had a really small pedal board, but if I had something like let's
Under
say an
it.
accessory that was like right in front of it, that just like kind of like was
As a
that I could rock my foot back and forth
Oh,
so I can
it's like the light?
still rock my foot back and forth and feel something tactile.
Gotcha, like a
You
pedal.
know,
of some sort.
like, but not even really a pedal. It could just be like a little piece of metal
Hinge.
on some weird hinge
Yeah.
and some rubber or whatever. Like, and just so I can just
Right.
get some consistency
Just a doorstop.
with that. Anything,
Yeah.
you know? But I just couldn't do it just like on the floor.
And I think the point is, we want products where you don't have to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
And so,
Should be added.
for me, this just creates more problems than I need. I mean, a wall pedal, you know, you have to spend time with to get good with.
Dial in.
And this is just another layer of more stuff for me to learn. I have to say, I was pretty disappointed on the build quality too.
Yeah.
You know, so smart technology, but just the execution wasn't there.
Yep, absolutely.
It's tough to get a wah pedal in that size, you know, like
Oh,
even,
right.
even like the mini wahs that are starting to come out, like that's a thing now, you know?
Dunlop
I
needs
had
a lazy
one,
front
and I couldn't use it
Dunlop one's fun.
because it was too small, my
Right.
foot's too big.
Yeah.
So like, so this is actually better than that
Gotcha.
for me.
Right.
But still, it's just like I just need that, like
Yeah.
you said, that whole tactile feeling.
Right, absolutely. Totally.
Need some resistance.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Good luck, little buddy.
Yeah. And we're good.
Ride the wave.
Ride the wave.